alone in this place. Crying out in this place. Mind racing, pain raging, tears chasing you. Sometimes it feels like you can't breathe in this place. But then there's a voice that whispers through the hurt in this place. Seeing tough times don't last, oh no, don't last, no. Tough people who don't give up, I ain't giving up. So remember the race is not given to the swift, but you the one who endures. So you cannot stop. You gotta keep pushing. Right till you go, right till you way to the top. You cannot stop. You gotta keep pushing. Right till you go, right till you way to the top. Trials riding, tribulations beating, feels like you can't catch a break. I just can't get it. I'm reaching out to the burnt down. Somebody help me. Victims of abuse, help me. The drug dealers, I know that you get tired too. Help me. If we fall down on our knees, Lord, I need you. Then He can heal the land. Somebody say.
Whole season, this go around, is about coming out of bondage and getting a message out about generational curses, coming out of bondage, marriage, being equally yoked, male.
Wow.
What's going on, my people?
Ooh, my God, it have been. When I tell you, when the enemy don't want nothing to go forth, he gonna do all he can to stop it, but he can't stop it. But God.
What's going on, people? This is your boy Jscott with I'm Worth It podcast. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to all my sponsors. Tonight's hashtag will be hashtag keep pushing. To enter yourself in a drawing, just type in hashtag keep pushing. Everyone, let me know where you from. Feel free to ask questions. Today, I got Miss Minister Charlene Young with me today, and today's topic is domestic violence. And that topic is sensitive to my heart because everybody is dealing with something, and it's how you come out of it. You just got to keep pushing. That's why I chose this song today. And when I thought about this song, I thought about you, Minister Charlene, about you just got to keep pushing into some of the trials and tribulations that we go through. We just got to keep pushing it. And just a little bit back, I was a witness of domestic violence. And sometimes when you are and sometimes when you are a witness to domestic violence, that's just a part of you going through domestic violence because you have to live with that forever. You have to be, but you have to be strong enough to talk about it. So you just got to. You got to, and I'm so happy, and I am excited to have Miss Young on here today. Miss Young, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Charlene Young. I am the CEO of But God Battle Women Support Group. I'm married. I have 7 children, and I live in the city of Millbrooks, and I've been there all of my life. And I'm just...
Okay, then we got Pale City in the house. I'm going to shout y'all out periodically as I see y'all come on live. I want y'all to hashtag keep pushing it. Enter yourself in the wind is drawing. As you come on live, tell us where you from. Miss Charlene, tell us about your organization and what you do out through the community. And we're going to go into your testimony a little bit, but right now we're just going to go back and forth and, get for you to get to know the audience and the audience to get to know you. Have fun, get to enjoy yourself and tell your testimony, and we know how we do it.
Yes. Well, I own a domestic violence in Millbrooks, where I help young ladies and older women, help them with domestic violence relationships. I have a counselor on board. I'm not a counselor, but I'm a counselor with God. So I had to get a certified counselor. Her name is Krista Hook. Well, we counsel women that going through, because this thing is every day. people going through, women's going through, men's going through. So I'm there to help anybody. If a man need help, I'm there. If a woman need help, I'm there. Relationships, marriage, I'm there. That's what I do.
Okay, then. What are some of the things you done in the community?
Well, Thanksgiving, I give away food. I have fed like 80 something people from 2019 to last year. And this year I'm having another one. I'm going to feed for Thanksgiving until I run out. And then Christmas, I do things every year for Christmas. Like the last 2 years, I've been blessing the nursing home. So this year, I'm going to have a Christmas party for the ages 4 through 6. So I'm gonna be giving away jackets, and I just love what I do.
Okay, and I'm gonna throw you out there because you're a nonprofit.
Yes.
So if anybody y'all hear what she's doing in the community, if you have a jacket or anything that you want to give to this nonprofit, because I seen the works of it throughout the community, like with your
Yes.
back to school bash or your Thanksgiving.
Wow.
How many people did you feed last Thanksgiving?
Last Thanksgiving, I fed 81 people.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. I seen some of the works that you do throughout. And God said, go towards His people, and share the love and share, because most of the stuff you do come out of your pocket, and
Yes.
that's the best
Yes.
part about being a nonprofit and stuff. People don't know the work you have to do behind the scenes, or when people are not giving. Most of that stuff
Right.
comes out of your pocket, like the education equipment that you do for your nonprofit, the therapy section that you do for your nonprofit, the building that you got for your nonprofit. What
Yes.
pushed you into doing a domestic violence shelter?
Well, what pushed me in doing this? I went through a domestic violence. I was in a marriage, going through a domestic violence for 5 years, and it came to an end. It came to an end with me with my ex-husband, where I was being abused. I was being abused all the time. I was being abused when he was doing wrong. Even when he was out with someone else, he would come home and he would abuse me. And so when I went through my domestic violence with him, I decided to come back home and stay back home because this happened in Tagadigga. So I decided to come back home. So I came back home from being hurt, being abused, going through a lot. And I just wanted God to just heal me. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want God at all. I didn't want him. I just wanted God to just heal me so I can go back and kill him. That's what I was intending to do. But see, when we kneel down and go to praying, we have
Yeah,
to be careful what we pray for. And so
yeah.
as I began to pray for a year and a half and for what I was going through, God gave me this vision. And God gave me a vision, and I was standing up high and women were standing down low. They was clapping, they was crying, and they was just, just clapping and crying. And so I had this dream like 3 times. And I told my mom, I said, I don't know why I keep having these dreams about all these women. I said, I'm not finna preach. And so
Yeah.
my mama said, Lynn, just tell God yes. And so when I told God yes, that's when that fourth dream, I began to be speaking. I began to hear what I was saying to these women. And I was speaking my life to them, telling them what I have been through and what I have went through and what God was showing me. And I was just telling them. And that's how I come up with helping the women with domestic violence.
Okay. When did you come to your lowest point that you felt like you had to get out?
Well, my lowest point of my life, when I looked at myself, I didn't look the way I used to look. I looked at just like a crackhead.
Jeez.
That's why I tell people to be careful how you judge people when you see them in the street, because you don't know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at so bad. I mean, black eyes, teeth knocked out, hair snatched all out my head. And when I came back here, my children had to go through some things. They had to go through what people calling me crackhead, what people saying I had a disease. They had to go through so much. And I was like, I can't let my kids just keep going through this and being abused and doing all this and taking all this from this man. I got to do something.
Yeah, that's a living testimony right there.
You know, and I started praying about these things. I started praying. Even in my prayer, I was praying for a change for my children. But at the same time, I was praying to go get him. I was determined to go get him because I was determined to get him because you think about somebody who you give your whole heart to, who you trust, who's supposed to love you, who's supposed to treat you right. And then they come home and treat you wrong when they're out all times of night. You know, when they're with their woman, they get mad and come home and jump on you for being wrong. And that's what he did to me. You know, when he was out there in the street, he came home and jumped on me. You know, and then when my children called, he accused me of my oldest son. He was just so trifling. He was just so low down to me. He was so dirty to me. He was so mean to me. You know.
Wow.
But I just thank God for changing me. You know, changing my life. You know.
So what year did you start your nonprofit, your building and all of that? Like how did God give you that vision? Like what thoughts came to you when that vision come that you must tell the world and you must go out and heal women?
I didn't want it. I didn't want it when I was seeing it because I didn't know what was God doing. I thought that God wanted me to preach, and I didn't want to preach because looking at my past, I was like, no, I don't want to preach. You know, I didn't want it. So that's why I was telling you earlier, you have to be careful for what you pray for. And see, I was praying to go back for dangerous. I wasn't praying to be good. I wasn't praying to change my life. I was praying to just heal the hurt. And once the hurt was healed, I was going to run back out in the street.
Yeah.
Just go back out there in the street and do whatever and then try to kill him because of what he did to me.
Okay.
God had another plan.
Okay. And it's going in full circle because tell us how God brought you out.
God brought me out because he changed me during the mix of me laying down in that room. Laying in one room when I went back to my ex-husband. I went back to my ex-husband. I told him I needed a place to stay. So I told him that I wanted the first room. So when I got that first room in the house, I went in that room and I just prayed. I was just praying to God. I didn't want to deal with no other man. I was just trying to get healed for what I had been through. I wasn't studying nothing else. I was just only trying to get my heart healed and to go back out there in the world. But God had a plan for me. God changed my whole life during the mix of that because I started reading a lot. I started praying a lot. I started wanting to go to church. I started wanting to not cuss anymore. It just, my life was just changing. And the marks, the black eyes that I had on my eyes, it started cleaning up. The bruises that I had from the scars, even in the back when he pushed me out the driving car, when I rolled over in the middle of the highway, when I could have got ran over, I could have died. And the marks that was on my face, you know, and then my hair was getting snatched out. All this stuff started growing back. God started healing me. God started bringing my beauty back to me. So then that's when I realized that something is going on, that God is dealing with me. You know, even when I tried to cuss, I couldn't cuss.
I got a question for you. So what advice would you give someone that's going through that right now?
My advice, what I give a young lady that's going through now, is that you put God first in everything that you do. When you put God first, God is going to do the healing. And it's good to get counselor from me or any other counselor out there. But you need God first. Because when you put God in everything you do, God is going to do the healing.
Yeah.
He's going to do the processes. He's going to do just what you need to do. And so when you get in a relationship, you will know how to deal with a relationship because you got God first. When you put God first in your life, wow, you will see change. You will see the difference. You still going to go through storms, but you're going to see the difference.
Yes.
So,
I'm gonna try to get your flyer up here in a minute. I don't know if we can get it up here. I'm gonna try to get your flyer up here, but I want everyone to tag and let us know where you're from, and I also want everybody to hashtag keep pushing. I want everybody to hashtag to keep pushing to get put in this drawing. And
yes.
get back to talking back to Miss Charlena, because what made you come up with the name of your building, But God?
I came up with that name because God had healed me. God had healed my pain. And I began to love God. I began to trust God. And I believed in God. Even when I couldn't see him, I believed in God. So I named my building, I named my business, But God Battle Women Support Group. And a lot of people say, I don't think you need to put God in it. You know, people's not going to help you. People's not going to support it because everybody don't believe in God. I said, well, they don't have to support this because I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it to help another woman be healed and not to go through what I've been through. Because this thing is every day. And it hurt. And I almost lost my mind. You know, Brother Jason, I'd rather for a man to punch me than lose my mind. Because I was about to lose my mind. You know, if God wouldn't have stepped in my life, I was about to lose my mind. Love is something else. Love, we as women, we love so deep. We love so deep that we let a man do whatever we want him to do. We don't care if he cheat, we'll take him back. We don't care if we catch him with a woman, we'll take him back. You see what I'm saying? That's how a woman loves so deep. Because a 2-minute, 3-minute sex will mess your whole life up.
Talk about it.
It'll mess your whole life up. And all that man got to do is lay you down. And when he lay you down, that's it. You right back loving him again. But guess what? He going to go right back to do that same cheating again. He going to cheat again because guess what? He know what to do. He know once he lay us down, that's it.
Okay. Okay. I had a question here that said, have you forgave your abuser?
Yes. That was, oh God, that was the most hardest thing in my life. I cried for 3 months. But God told me, God spoke to me. He said, you got to forgive. He said, only way I'm going to release you and let you go and let things come in, you got to let go. That was the hardest thing in my life. Because I'm like, God, this man like took my life so many times. But that was hard. And I have forgave him, forgave his mother, forgave his sister. I have forgave them for the things they done. And I'm going to say this. His father, he was 5 years old. His father beat his mother and almost killed her. His father did 23 years in prison. So ladies, make sure you check that husband, that boyfriend. Well, before you get married, check their background so you can know what you're dealing with.
Do you think the in-laws or do you think any family members knew about the abuse?
Yes.
Or your intake on the abuse? Like, do you hold them accountable for letting it go on and not stepping in and helping you, or you had to keep it silent? Like what they say, what goes on in the house stays in the house.
Well, his family knew, but I never would tell my family. But his mother knew. She told me, she said he got off the medication that she had him on when I think he was like 15 or 16 years old. But guess what? It was too late then.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it just was too late. She should have kept him on the medicine. But you know, once a child get 15, 16 years old, you really can't tell them what to do. They really don't want to listen to you, you know. But I just think she should have stayed more harder on him because of what he seen his daddy do to her. And at the end of the day, when I got ready to put him in jail and go against him, that lady went with him. So I'm telling you, these mother-in-laws, they can be good. Me and her was good. We never fell out. We never had an argument. But at the end of the day, that woman stood with her son.
Yeah.
She stood with her son, and she know her son was wrong, but she stood with her son.
Yeah, for the ones just now tuning in, I am Jscott. I am worthy. This is my T-shirt. Today's topic is domestic violence. Overcome domestic violence. Who people going through domestic violence have your testimony about domestic violence. I need you to hashtag keep pushing. Also in the comments, if you have any questions, let us know. Also in the comments, keep pushing it for the raffle at the end. And please let us know where you're from. You got what else you got for me, Minister Charlena? She had to take a drink of water.
And I want you to know, it's so many women that people go out and they
What's
be
going
with
on, Bishop Ferguson?
they go out and they be with people's husband. But I want you ladies out there messing with people's husband. And bragging about you messing with people's husband. But I want you to know that same thing's gonna come back to you, baby. So in every tear that woman cried, you're gonna cry 3 times double. Oh, it's coming back. See, we like to brag about, oh, we got that person's husband. Oh, we got that man wife. Oh, but you can brag kings and you can brag queens. But I want you to know one thing. It's coming back to you. 3 times worse. It's coming back. It's coming back.
You know, I'm going into a season. If they got them, they can keep them.
But, and you're right. But at the same time, you got to get it back.
Yeah.
That's that thing called coming. It's gonna come back to you. Okay? It's coming back. And I tell people, when you can't tell your story, you ain't healed. Yeah. If you can't go out and tell somebody what you've been through, you're not healed. And if you can't forgive a person, you're not healed. Yeah. So you'll be surprised how many women's out there are going through. Even big stars are going through miserable. You know, people want to stay with people because of they houses, they cars. They want to stay with these people. But you want to be miserable. But I refuse to be miserable. I refuse. If I get miserable in my marriage right now, then I got to call my leaders. Pastor Mike and Marlon Crook, I got to call my great leaders and tell them, look, my marriage is on the edge. You know, I need help. I'm not going to wait until it just get way out of proportion. No, don't do that. And if a man is cheating on you and you're going to keep that man back, let me tell you something. Stop throwing up his past. Keep him. But if you don't want it, let him go. Don't keep that man to be miserable because you miserable. Let that man go. Let that woman go.
Okay, then. So,
and if you laying in your bed and he's sleeping this way and she's sleeping this way, y'all got a problem. Y'all need to fix it. And I need to fix it quick.
So what are some of your biggest downfalls? Like biggest obstacles you had to go through?
My biggest downfall that I had to go through in my life. I thought this was domestic violence was the biggest downfall in my life. But I tell you, when I lost my son, I thought I wouldn't make it. But I knew a God that sits high and he looked low because I thought that pain or going through divorce was the most hurtful pain it was. But no. When I lost my son, I literally thought, then, this is it. But God held on to me. He held on to me. And it hurt so bad. But I get up every day. I get up every day telling God, you got to keep me. That was one of the biggest things that I can ever go through. And it's something that I think it'll be a long time for me to be healed behind it. But I'm holding on to God. I know God is going to heal the pain, but I know I never get over my son. You know, having my son for 28 years, you know, and having 7 children, and you look at all 7 of them and one gone, it's a hurtful feeling. But I know my God. I know He's going to keep me. I'm just trusting God.
Yes. We have a question here from one of our sponsors, Don. He said, do you think God allowed you to endure so much to be a witness because He conditioned you to take whatever the enemy throws at you?
Well, I think God is taking me through all of this so that He can see as I'm going to endure and stand with His name. Because after I lost my son, I had 2 heart attacks, and I'm still standing. I'm not going to leave God because God has been with me. He's been with me through it all. I can't make it without God. I don't know where I'll be without God. If I lose God and I depend on people, I will lose my mind, sure enough. So I know God is taking me through to make me stronger and make me work for Him. That's why, and tell testimonies. That's why God still got me standing. I can't give up.
Yes.
No matter what, I won't give up. I don't care how much the storm hurts, how much it keep me in the fire. I can't give up. I can't. And I won't give up. Even though I can't hardly get up out of my bed sometime or getting up at 3 and 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't give up on my God. He's been too good to me. You know, you got some people want to lose their mind and give up, but I can't. It hurt. Oh, God, when I tell you it hurts. But I can't give up. And I'm not going to give up. And I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me because I know my God.
Yeah. And you know, I think God take us through stuff only to make us stronger.
Yes, He do.
And when we position ourselves, once we put it down, we can't pick it up. And the season that God was moving us to is where God is trying to take us. Everybody can go. Like, and can you tell us some of your mental status was going on with you while you was going through all your trials and tribulations?
While I was going through all my trials and tribulations, couldn't hardly sleep. Didn't know which way I was going to turn or go. But I knew I couldn't give up on God. But it hurts. I mean, I asked my mom, I said, why I had to be the one? I changed my life. Why I had to be the one that go through this pain that I'm carrying? And she said, my daughter, God knew who can carry the pain. There had to be that God knew that I can carry this pain and go through it so I can be a living testimony to somebody else.
Yeah.
But I told my mom, this pain hurt, but I'm still here and I'm still standing because of God.
Okay. With all your trials and tribulations, how did it affect your children?
It affect my children. It still affect my children. they worried about me. They worried a lot about their brothers. They hurt deeply, you know. And it's so much on me when you got 6 other kids, when they got birthdays coming up, holidays coming up, that it bothered them and hurt them dearly. And I have to be strong for my children. And you know, I try so hard to be so strong for my children. I don't want my children to see me break down. My husband see me break down all the time. And he's right there with me. You know, I love him. And I thank God for him that he's there when I'm going through. And it's got a real effect on my children. I think they'll never be healed. I'm praying that they'll be healed from this. But Ray was one of the closest brother. He was close to all of them. He was the littlest one, and he was the special one to everybody because he was so little. And he was just like the oldest brother because Ray was the one who was always there for all of us. When we was in need, Ray was the one that, you know, helped us. Ray was the one that when we needed money, Ray had it. Ray was the one when something go on, Ray was there. Ray was just like the big brother, but that's the way Ray was, and he was special. And you know, a lot of people say when people die, they holler, put big names on them. They was special, they was this, but he was special. He was one of a kind. He was my baby.
Yes. With all your trials and tribulations, when did you realize that you was coming in a coming out season? And when I say coming out season, when did you realize you was at a turning point and your life was getting better for the good?
Well, in 2021, I came out better for my domestic violence. I was good. I was healed. I'm done with the domestic violence.
Okay.
I'm healed from there. I'm healed from my relationship with that. That's over with. I'm just going through now with being healed with my son. That's what I'm going through now. You know, being healed from that. But that domestic violence thing, that's over with. You know, that's done. And all I want to do is tell my testimony about what I've been through to help another woman. And, you know, and maybe God will work on me by helping women that lost their child, because that's a hurting pain.
Yes, yes.
So I'm here from the domestic violence.
Yeah. I want you to backtrack for me just a minute, because I want you to tell the people what you got coming up, because I got new people that's coming on. They might have missed it. But I want you to tell people what you got. And if you want to give, because she go to the nursing homes and she got the back to school bash. We're going to hold that question right there until I get finished. We got the back to school bash. We got the theme for Thanksgiving. Miss Charlene Young has a nonprofit, and all the stuff that she does comes out of her pocket. You just had a nice women's conference, domestic violence conference past weekend. That was amazing.
Yes.
So I want you to backtrack and tell us more about your nonprofit, just in case if people want to donate or give, you know, because I know it gets expensive because I've seen it firsthand. So I want you to tell us a little bit about that, and just tell us a little bit what you do in the community and how far do you go out.
Okay, my domestic violence program, where I help women, I help young men too, because men go through domestic violence, women go through domestic violence. I help them, counsel them to what they're going through, whether in a marriage, whether in a relationship. I does that, and I have a certified counselor. It's Christy Hook, but I'm certified through Jesus. So that's what I'm certified through Jesus, because I'm certified through Jesus because I can talk to a woman. I can deal with a woman because I've been through everything. So I can deal with them on my own. But, you know, by you having a domestic violence program, a business, you got to have someone certified to be on your board. So, and then like this year I did a back to school giveaway. I gave away 156 book bags. I fed them. I had an icy truck out there. We had bouncers. We had a great time. And then for this year, for Thanksgiving, I will be feeding people. I will feed everybody in the community. I don't care if they're in Montgomery, Wetumpka, Prattville, everywhere. Whoever come out, they're welcome to eat. We're going to feed until we run out of food. And so for Christmas, I got a party that I'm having for the kids, 4 years old to 12 years old, where I'll be giving away jackets. And we'll be having Santa Claus there. We'll be taking pictures. We'll be eating. We'll just be dancing. We're just going to have fun. So you can come drop your kids off. Drop them off at 12 o'clock. But 5 o'clock, you better come back at them or the police going to be coming to get them.
No, now. No, you ain't gonna lock them.
So make sure you come back at your children's.
You ain't gonna lock the babies up. Okay, I need for everyone that wants to be in the drawing to tag hashtag keep pushing. And we're just gonna continue our conversation up. We're about to come to a close to this thing. So in about Miss Keisha, we're going to start running that drawing now. To be precise, I'd like to thank all my sponsors that came out. We had Tate Ferguson, the owner of Gold Mine, on here. Dunn Cleaning Service on here. We had Pastor Marla on here today. Did you recognize any of your people on here?
I'm too busy running my mouth.
Okay, then. So we're going to keep that drawing. We had all our sponsors on here today. I'm Worth It. We're going to come out with T-shirts, branded. I'm just excited for the movement that we're going. Today's topic was domestic violence. If you would like to sew into Minister Charlena's vision, we'll put the link somewhere in the bio along with her flyer. And that's pretty much all we have tonight. I thank y'all for tuning in with us. Catch us next Wednesday. Again, we have a topic coming to you soon. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good night.
All right, everybody, we want to give you a couple of more seconds to go ahead and get your name into the drawing. You have to hashtag it just like this. You cannot separate the word keep pushing. Make sure you put the hashtag keep pushing. We are about to do the drawing. Couple of more seconds. So if you're listening and you put hashtag keep pushing and you put a space, this is your opportunity to now type it in again and make sure you do it just like it says on the screen so we can get the drawing going in a couple of seconds.
Okay. And everybody, you still have time to let us know where you're from. And if you have an organization or would like to be interviewed, please hit me up. Put it closer together. Don't separate it. Keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Time is up. We are about to do the drawing right now so that we can go ahead and draw the names. We have a winner.
I knew he was going to win.
Okay.
I knew he was going to win.
Congratulations.
All right, then, Mr. Corey, we will inbox you and let you know what you have won. Y'all stay tuned to us next week, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. I always have a word of encouragement. Where God is trying to take you, everybody can go. If something keeps weighing you down, is becoming a burden on you, cut it loose. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. Y'all stay blessed, and we're out of here.
Whole season, this go around, is about coming out of bondage and getting a message out about generational curses, coming out of bondage, marriage, being equally yoked, male.